talk about why there is that anger and sense of division out there, which we've just seen in those tweets. I think one thing we haven't talked about is, I think a lot of this dates back to much earlier, to the 1970s, when the philosophy of multiculturalism was introduced. Multiculturalism sounds like a really nice thing. It sounds like a melting pot. Multiculturalism is a philosophy which is about division. It's about the exact opposite. It was designed to encourage different communities to retain their identities and not to integrate. I think if we're going to have cultural cohesion, which we need if we're not going to have some kind of civil war, we need to have communities getting back together again, rather than having this idea that it is good to have places in Bradford, places in Luton, which are, to all intents and purposes, Muslim ghettos. That is no way for people to get on. It's very clear, isn't it? The starting salary of a nurse, I think, is 21,000. I think the basic salary of an MP is 67,000. And I think we all agree, we love our MPs, but they work really hard for their money, and nurses do nothing. So it's quite right that... But apart from being trivial, I think that we have to accept that the economy is struggling at the moment. I'm not sure that one of my concerns about MP salaries at the moment, actually, is that they sometimes it might be an idea to actually pay them more, because maybe we would get a... I think we've got two good MPs here tonight, actually, but I think the calibre of some of the MPs I see in Westminster at the moment, I wonder whether we are attracting the brightest and the best. So... I get very nervous when I hear things like, it's time we talked about giving nurses more money. I think it's time that MPs recognise their sacred responsibility in that the government has no money of its own. It only has the money it takes from people in the form of taxes, compulsory levies.
Why are we cutting taxes for the richest 1% of the country? Why are we cutting taxes for the richest 1%?
Can I just finish before you let your left report?
That's our money too.
Or by money printing, by stealing money from future generations. So the government has no money of its own. So when MPs start saying, oh yes, I think people should be paid more, just bear in mind it's not your bloody money, it's the taxpayer who's paying this stuff.
Why are we cutting taxes for the rich?
James, so is this a cultural problem in this country?
I don't think that there is a so-called rape culture. I think it's a very emotive phrase. I think most men... I think most men know that no means no. I don't think that that we've become more of a rapey society. But I think one of the points you made, you referred, I think, to the grooming gangs in Rochdale and in Rotherham, and it's not just in the north. It's in Telford, in Norfolk. It's happened. We've got these organised gangs, mostly of Muslim origin. I think we need to. It's a fact.
It is also a fact that a majority...
Let me finish. Thank you very much.
You outrageous
interruption.
OK, let him finish and then come back in.
I'm not spreading lies.
I'm just telling you what the member of that audience are actually... They are screaming at you.
Why don't you read the newspapers?
That girl is screaming at you.
If you look at the names that have come up in the court cases, you will find that most of them are of Kashmiri, Pakistani origin.
Nullifer. Nullifer now, please.
You talk about rape culture. It's a very pretty state of affairs when the police and the social workers would not deal with this problem because they were too embarrassed about being called racist.